graders, welcome back to Science with Water and Climate. So for today's question, we are going to try to explore what happens to water when it gets hot or when it gets cold. So the other day we were working with temperature and we figured out that a thermometer is a really good way to find the temperature of something. So today we're going to explore what happens when we place water in something very hot and what happens when we place it in something very cold. So I just took a glass bottle, filled it with water, and added some food coloring so that you could see the water more clearly. And then at the very top, I put a straw inside the bottle, but I secured the straw with some clay or Play-Doh, just something that it's really in place very securely and really good. And then behind the bottle, I placed a white index card or a white piece of paper so that you can see it clearly. So I'm going to do an up close of each experiment, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in a very hot container of water and a very cold container of water, and we're going to watch what happens to the water inside. Okay, so here's the water bottle inside something very hot, hot water. And if you watch the straw, you can notice something's happening, right? If you look very closely, the water inside the bottle is actually going up the straw. So when water is heated, the water molecules expand and the water needs more space. So the water is actually increasing its volume and finding more space to go into, and that's why it's rising in the straw. So hot water, or when water is heated, the molecules expand. So let's try this. Okay, so now I'm gonna take the water system out and I'm gonna actually place the water bottle into the cold water and watch what happens to the water as the water is getting colder. You're gonna notice that the water is starting to go down. So the water, when it gets cold, is actually contracting and it does not need as much space, so it does not have as much volume, and it's going to slowly go back into the bottle. You can see it slowly starting to go down. And eventually it will be right back to the very beginning. So as you can see, our straw and bottle system helped us to see what happens to water when it gets hot and what happens to water when it gets cold. That's very similar to what happens to a real thermometer, is that the liquid inside, when it does get heated up or hot, and the temperature will start to rise, the liquid rises. And you can also see when it's cooled that the temperature, the liquid will slowly go down. So this is how a thermometer actually works, and there are actually two types of scales. Sometimes we use the Celsius degrees and sometimes we use the Fahrenheit degrees. And both systems you're going to read more about who invented them and how they work and how they compare. All right, have a great day.